what's up? Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to be making a beginner's tutorial and try to cover all the basics that'll be important to know as you progress through the game. I'm going to make the tutorial from the moment you wake up or log in, however you want to look at it, all the way up until we're ready to leave our sanctuary dock and set sail for the first time. So again, thanks for tuning in, and here we go. Alright, this is the room that you start off in when you wake up, or however you want to say it. So we need to exit the room. Anytime you see a door with this kind of a handle, you can see the pointer or the circle turns into a different icon. It means you can grab a hold of it and open the door. To do so, you left click and hold and left click the left mouse button and then drag the door open.
It's dark and quiet now, but it doesn't have to stay that way. Reconnect the power. Bring this place back to life.
Alright, we got our first quest. They want us to restore the power here. If you notice, we have a battery that's fully charged, and directly across is the power input and a switch. So we need to find cables so that we can connect the battery to the input. So we have two other rooms to look at. This one here, the door requires power to open. You can see by the electrical symbol here is like a reddish color. The lights up here are red. That means there's no power to the door. It won't open. This door, however, has the handle that we can grab and open. So you press and hold the left mouse button and drag the door, and then you look inside the room, and here's our cables. There's two ways you can pick up items in the game. You can mouse over and get that icon that looks like an upside down wrench, and then you press the letter E key, and then you pick up the item. Or, as you can see, we have two batteries, a light stick, and another cable. So if you kind of hover in the middle there, press and hold the letter E, you'll collect everything at once. Just like that. Okay, we have our cable. Let's plug everything in. So if you notice, when you mouse over the outputs of the battery, the outside ring kind of glows. When that happens, press the E and you'll connect the cable to the battery. And then while you're holding the cable, just run over to the input port and the same thing happens there. See how the outside ring highlights? Press E and then you'll connect the cable. And then you can see the arrows show which way the power is going to flow. You can change that by pressing F. It won't let us do it here because it only needs to go in. I'll show that later. So then we turn the switch on.
Good work, Caretaker. Every restored connection brings us closer to reclaiming our home. We've lingered here long enough, Caretaker. Head to the docking hangar. There's something important there, waiting to show us our path.
Okay, so we just finished our first quest and got our second one. They want us to make our way to the docking hangar. So let's head that way. So as you notice, then we turn the power on. This door has power. The lights are all green. So you walk up to it, and then down at the bottom above my energy and health bar, you can see that it says press E to open the door. That's all you do. And every now and then in different points of interest, when you get into rooms, you'll see these switches. If this little green light is on, that means this switch has power, and when you press the switch, it'll turn the lights on. If that little green light is not on, then there's no power to the switch, and you need to find out why. And this is a double door where it has power, or we can grab a hold and drag it, like so. Or you walk up and just press E and the door will open. Here's another example of mass loot. Just kind of hover in the middle, press and hold E, and you pick everything up. Pretty much all points of interest that you'll be exploring throughout the world will have a station like this in some way. This is a healing station. As you can see, my health is low, so I'll heal up. To do that, you hover over the cable end, press E to grab it, press and hold E to attach it to yourself. And when your health is full, press E and you let go of it. Okay, same thing here. This is a save game option, or it's called a backup station. So you hover over the cable end, press E to grab it, press and hold E to connect it to you, and then now we can back up our game. So you select backup, and then you choose any one of these slots that are empty. We'll choose slot 5. Yes, you want to override it. Okay, now the backup is done. It's important that anytime you find a station like this, back the game up. This way, anything you've done prior to this moment will be saved, and you won't lose any progress if something happens, if you die. Alright, so we have some more cables here we want to grab. Okay, now this is our way out, so we have to move everything. So to do that, it's the same as opening the door. You move the pointer over the item, you get that weird looking little icon. You hold the left mouse button and then drag everything out of the way. These large items like this, we're not strong enough at this low level to pick them up, but we can still drag them out of the way. Okay, again, it's a double door. We can click and hold and drag it open, or it's electric. And open it that way. Okay, now we have an elevator that's stuck up there, and to pull it down to us, we hit this button. And the way these buttons work, if they have power, it'll be glowing green like it is. If there's no power to this button, it won't be glowing. So to call the elevator, as you can see at the bottom center, it says press E to call the elevator. And then once you're on the elevator, you have a series of buttons here. An up button, down, and then a stop button. So we want to go up. Again, green light means this switch has power. We can press the button and the lights will come on. Here's some more batteries. Okay, now we're going to enter our first combat. So the only thing you have is a crowbar to do melee damage with, and to do melee damage you press C. So we walk up to this little glob, press C, little things pop out, and we just kill them. Okay, this is a manual door, so we grab a hold of it and slide it. Grab this robot. So pretty much anything on the floor or ground you can pick up and move if you need to. You just hover over till you see that icon change to what it is now. Press and hold the left mouse button, and then you can move anything where you need it. Okay, let's open this door. And here's our boat.
There she is, your vessel. More than just metal and circuits, it's your freedom. This boat is how you'll reclaim the seas, and perhaps even your identity. The dock systems are offline. Without them, we're trapped here. Restore the power, Caretaker, so we can sail again.
Alright, so we just finished our second quest and got another new one. They want us to light the way home. So they're wanting us to, that's the main power panel up there. We need to find power and get it to that panel to turn all the lights on, basically power the whole dock, so that we can eventually open the door there so that we can sail out when we're ready. So let's go see if we can find some power. I think there's another cable right here. Okay, and then as you're throughout your travel and your exploration points of interest that you go to, you'll see boxes like this. There'll be resources in those boxes. To collect it, press and hold E, and then the box will break and you'll collect the item. Just like that. Jump. Alright. There's another look of our boat. It's pretty neat. Okay, another double door where it's manual and power, but we don't have power, so we're able to open it because it is a manual door. Okay, this is an electric door, as you can see, no power. So let's go upstairs and see what we find. Well, here's another all-electric door with no power. So we need to get into that room there. So the way to do that is, anytime you see a vent that's broken like this, it means that you can grab it, pull it down, and go up in the ductwork. So let's grab the vent, set it aside, climb up in here, and see where we go. Another battery. Whoops. And here we are, we're in this room. Okay, as you can see how it looks like it's damaged, it means we need to repair it. When you start the game, you'll automatically get two tools. You'll get a torch and you'll get a wrench, and they're already equipped, and you can see that here in the bottom left of the screen. I'm going to swap mine because I have, as you can see with the wrench, you can see it's showing the side button on my mouse. I have my light set there so that I can turn the light on easier. So to change that, you hit tab, and then down here at the bottom you want to right click on the torch where it says equipment and add it to action bar 1, and then it changes it. Okay, now close the tab and now press the letter T to pull up your tools. And now to put the wrench back out there, right click on it and add to hotbar 2, and there it is. So then to turn the light on, all I gotta do is press the side button on my mouse and it turns the light on. I found it's easier to do that than to keep pressing the number 6. It's alright, so let's so when you pull your wrench up and you mouse over something that needs repaired, the little repair box will show up. It'll show you how much it costs to repair it, electricity wise. It's 25 watt hours. How long it'll take to repair it, 5 seconds. And then what resources needed to repair it. In this case, we need 4 iron. So to repair it, you press and hold the left mouse button, and then it'll repair the item. You see the progress bar at the bottom, and now it's done. And to put the tool away, you can press the hotkey that it's tied to, or you can press the letter Q like that, and it'll put the tool away. Alright, let's grab this cable here. I think there's some more here, yep. Some more other stuff. Alright, so when you have a cable laying on the ground, if you mouse over it, you'll get that symbol again. Press E to pick the item up, and then again come over to the output on the battery. When you see the outside ring light up, then press E to connect the cable. Okay, now here's where I was talking about earlier, that band right there that's got the minuses and the 0. That is the direction of the flow of electricity, fuel, oxygen, which you'll learn that later in the game, the fuel and oxygen. So what this means it's like it's neutral, or it's going to equal things out. So we have two batteries here. As you see, one's got more charge than the other. This one's at 5.4 out of 6, out of a capacity of 6 kilowatts, and this one has 0.9. So if we connect a cable from here to there and leave those minus and zeros, the batteries, you see the power's flowing into this battery, the lower one, and you can see that the meters, one's going down, one's going up. Okay, now the power stopped flowing, and you see the meters are now even. The batteries are equal, so they've equalized. Then when you mouse over the outputs, it'll show 3.2 kilowatts, and this one has 3.2 kilowatts. So this is good to do on your boat when you have multiple batteries, and also you'll end up later on, you'll build and have multiple fuel tanks for both diesel and petrol. There's different ways you can do it. You can have it run off of one tank at a time, or you can equalize the tanks and it uses from all the tanks all at once. So this van, the way it looks now, is what's called equalize. So to change that, you press the letter F while you're moused over it. So now it shows the power is going into this one battery. If you want it to go into the other battery, press F again, and now it goes back the other way. If you want them equalized, then you press it again and get the minus and the zeros. Okay, let's grab this cable here and hook it into this battery. Okay, and we want the power to be going into this battery because this is coming from the wind turbines and the solar panels that's on the roof that we'll have to go up and look and see if we have to repair them. So we want to press the F to make sure that the power is going into this battery, just like that. And then here we want the power to be going out, just like that. Okay, now we grab a cable, connect it here, and run it to the input here. And then we turn the switch off.
The dog is alive again, thanks to you. Each step forward reconnects us to a brighter future. Caretaker, you were never meant to remain bound. These waters were once pathways, carrying life, purpose, and discovery. Something awaits you out there, ready to be reclaimed.
Okay, so we just completed our third quest, and we just picked up 2 new quests. So one is telling us to prep our boat to get it ready to sail by charging the boat up, refueling the boat with diesel, repairing the diesel engine, and then there's cylinders that we'll need to reconnect, which we'll get to that when the time comes. And then the other one, they want us to extract iron, plastic, and rubber, which I'll show you how to do that. But right now, let's go on the roof and let's check out our wind turbines and solar panels and see what needs to be done to repair them so we can have permanent power. Okay, let's open the door. Looks like we got some more combat to do. So we'll do that and get that out of the way. Okay, see how this is still here? You want to make sure and finish it off, because if you don't and leave it sit long enough, it'll regenerate and reform that bubble here on the top, and you'll have to start all over again. Now let's pull our wrench out, and then you mouse over the item and then it'll tell you what's needed to repair. So this still has pretty good durability, so I'm going to go ahead and hook this one up, Let me see what kind I got, stuff I got. Okay. So it's the same thing with the battery. When you mouse over the outlet port, the outside ring will glow, telling you that it's ready to accept the cable. So press E to connect the cable. And then I'm going to run over here. Whoops, I need to do something first. So I forgot earlier we leveled to level 2, which that gave us some skill points and enhancer points. So to check those out and to put them in, press your tab button. And you see up at the top we'll have skills, and we have 3 points. So press on the skills tab. Like I said, when you start, you automatically get these 2 items here, your repair tool and the torch. And then now we've unlocked level 2 items. This one's free, it doesn't cost a point. This is a must-have tool, so always unlock that the minute you turn level 2. This is our dismantle tool, which I'll go over here shortly. And then we want to unlock our electric cable, and then our electric cable extender for now, and then that's it. Okay, then under enhancers we have 20 points, and my advice is that we're basically scavengers, where we go around and we gather scrap from items by dismantling them, and then we put that in a grinder and it turns into resources like copper, plastic, iron, so on and so forth. So I feel that it's necessarily important to max out scrapper first, because it reduces the amount of time it takes to dismantle something and also reduces the power it takes. So to put all the points in, press E, and every time you press E and hit yes, you'll put 5 points into that item. So those 20 points, it's reduced our dismantle time by 10% and our power consumption by 10%. And it's also, excuse me, if we have to repair something, it's reduced the repair time by 10% and power consumption by 10%. So that's a pretty good way of starting off, because when you start off, you don't have much power on your robot. So when you repair stuff, or I'm sorry, when you dismantle stuff with your grinder that we just unlocked, it takes a lot of power in the beginning, and it takes longer to dismantle stuff to gather the scrap to turn into resources, which is very important, because as you progress through the game, you're going to need the resources to build multiple items at all the points of interest that you come to. Okay, so now that that's done, so let's rehook our cable up. Okay, run over here to the corner, about here. Okay, now while you're holding the cable, if you look down and press the left mouse button, the cable extender shows up. When it's green like this, it means you can place it. And to place it, you press E once, and if you're happy with where it's at, then you press E again, and then it'll build it. Okay, now it keeps you in the build mode when you do that, and so to exit it so you can continue, you press the Q, and it takes you out of the build mode. Okay, now we can connect our cable the same way we did our wind turbine and the battery. When the outside ring glows, it's ready to accept the cable. So press E to put a cable on it, and it's ready to go. Okay, now let's connect this one to the one over here. Okay, we want the power to come into it. Uh-oh. Aggro these little boogers. Alright. Okay, now this one's going into our dock, so we'll grab this one and hook it in right here. And now you can see the power is flowing. And we'll hit F here to make sure that the power is going to guaranteed flow that way. Let's see what this one is. This one's 80%, so we'll go ahead and hook this one up too. Okay, so obviously there's no power going to be coming through that because it's nighttime out. That's what I don't like about these. So there's pros and cons to both of these. The pros to the wind turbines is they generate power all the time, day and through the night. The con is that because they're constantly spinning, they need to be constantly repaired. So you need to like keep up on them. Like I put them on my boat. So every time you leave your boat, every time I come back, before I leave to the next point of interest, I always check my wind turbines to see if they need repaired and repair them if they do. These, on the other hand, don't need repaired unless you get into a battle with the angels and they shoot at them. Um, However, as you see here, they only work during the daytime, so they're not generating power full time. So it's whichever way you want to do it. You know, it's your preference on how you want. If you want power all the time, your wind turbine is the choice. Just make sure and keep up on the repair. And why that's important is, which I'll show you with this one when I get the resources. But see this one here, it's at 75% durability. So when I gather the copper and the plastic to repair this, I'll show you. But I can show you right now, its output is only 3.4 kilowatts. So when we repair that and get it up to 100%, whoops, I guarantee you that that number will go up. And I will, like I said, when I get the resources, I will show you to confirm that that's the case, to show that it's important to make sure and keep the durability at least 90% or higher on these wind turbines. But then again, like I said, these, they don't need repaired unless you get into a fight and they get shot at, but they only work during the daytime. Now here's another good example of what's bad about these, is see how much this one is blocking that one from the sun, and as you can see, it's not producing, it's only produces power intermittently. See, now it's not producing power, and then now it is, and it's only, but it's producing a little over 3 kilowatts. But that's the other bad thing about these. So there's two cons to solar panels. One, only works during the day. Two, if they get blocked any, it drastically reduces their output. So that's something else to think of and to consider on what would you want to put on your boat to keep your battery charged up and power everything else that you're going to put on there. Alright, so let's go and collect some items so we can turn it into resources so we can repair the rest and get full power. Okay, this here's a ladder, but you see it doesn't go all the way down. So we're going to want it to go all the way down, and you'll see why here after a bit. So when you see a ladder like that and it's got this little thing here, if you mouse over the top part, press E, then it shoots the ladder all the way down. Alright, let's go into the room down below us. Okay, as you see, we have power now, that we restored power. So press E to open the door. Okay, and here's our grinder and our fabricator that we can use to make things if we need it. We use this to grind up stuff. We have a full battery here, so we'll connect power from here to there, and then the switch highlight it, so then we turn the switch on, so we can turn the power on here to the lights. Remember, little green lights on, switch has power, you can turn the lights on. Alright, so there's two ways you can grind up items to turn into resource. When we put a point into our tool, it automatically gives it to us. We don't have to make it. So you press T and here it is. So you can also tie this to a hotkey by right clicking on it. So I'm going to make it the same one that my wrench is, which was action bar 2. So you right click the grinder, add action bar 2 and it changes it to the grinder instead of the wrench. And then we'll take the wrench and we'll add it to hot bar 3 or action bar 3. And now down here in the bottom left we have all our tools there. So you press 6 to pull out our grinder. You mouse over an item and again it tells you what it takes to dismantle that item. It takes 27 watts of power, 2 seconds, and it'll give us 1 metal scrap. So to scrap it, you press and hold the left mouse button. And then you'll automatically collect the metal scrap. So when you have scrap like this built up, you walk up to your grinder, press the E to open your window, and then if you press F, it'll automatically throw all the items that can go in there automatically, just like this. And then it'll automatically grind them all. And as you can see here, it's shooting out the resources from the items that it's grinding. This is what we need to make the repairs of the wind turbine and the solar panels up on top. So we need to go around and collect more scrap and put in here to create these resources. I do know we need silicone, and most times silicone comes from these items here. So like I said, there's 2 ways you can do this. One, you can use your grinder tool, and the advantage of doing this, you get XP for dismantling this item. Oops, I need more power. So let me show you that. So it says I need 54 watts, but if you look at my energy bar at the bottom, I only have 47 watts of power. So we come over to this battery, connect the cable, and then press E and hold it, and it'll connect it to us, to your robot, or to you. Then wait to get fully charged. Okay, now press E to disconnect, and then you can press and hold E to collect the cable, or press and hold Q like that to get the cable. Okay, now to dismantle this with your grinder, the advantage of doing it this way is you gain an XP for grinding it, for dismantling the item. It shows it right there to the right of my health bar that I got 1 XP. So I'm going to collect all this. So that's what I got for collecting it. So let's put it in there. Okay, that's what it produced, and when you collect it, you get XP again for collecting it. So I got 4 XP for collecting all that. So in total, I got 5 XP for dismantling that screen. So if I throw it in there, I think it only gives you the XP when you collect this. Okay, that was weird. It moved really fast. I didn't see exactly how much XP I got for all that. But I've noticed that when you dismantle stuff with this, your grinder, you seem to level a lot faster. So it's almost like you're getting double XP for everything. You just have to watch early on in the game, you have to watch your power bar at the bottom. Because like I said, as you see, it says it takes 36 watts to dismantle this iron beam in 3 seconds. As we keep putting points into scrapper here, it reduces the time and power consumption, so the power will get less, and you'll grind it, you'll dismantle it faster. check and see what kind of skills we can get. Okay, so here's level 3. So we can unlock this storage crate. I want to unlock this. This is a scanner. It's new in the recent update. So you press and hold. So these
Caretaker.
numbers in the bottom
The
right
replica
tell you how
scanner
many.
can preserve more than materials. It can preserve shapes. Scan what you find. If it's recorded, we can build it again.
Alright. Forgot that she talks when you unlock this. So the number in the bottom right here, that's the number of points it takes to unlock that item. So I'm going to unlock this whisper, because right before I get ready to sail my boat, I'm going to put a bunch of those on there to charge the batteries and keep them charged. I advise against unlocking the electric pistol. To me it's worthless. It's not very good. But it's to each their own. It's whatever you want to do. So while you're here in your sanctuary dock, if you do everything and dismantle everything that can be dismantled here before you set sail, you should be at least level 6. And at level 5 you unlock the pistol, which is way better than the electric pistol. It's like it shoots actual bullets. So save your points later on so you can make sure to unlock items that you want. Because if you notice in this at level 5 also, we get our first backpack or spark cell, which it's like a battery on your back, so that when you're out dismantling things and you run low on battery power on your robot, you connect to your backpack, and it'll recharge the main battery on your robot, and you can go a little bit longer. Okay, so now to use that scanner, again, it automatically gives it to us. We don't have to build it, and it's in our tools. So do you remember how to open your tools? Press the letter T, and there it is. And you can tie it to a hotbar or an action bar, right click it. So we already have 3, so we put it on number 4. So then to pull it out, we press the letter 8. And anytime if something is scannable, or if you haven't scanned it, if you look at the tool, you'll see that square box on the back. It'll highlight, it'll glow. That means that item can be scanned. So to scan it, like the little icon shows above my health bar, press and hold the left mouse button. And it does take electricity to use this. And same thing with the table. As you can see, it highlights when I go over the table. That means I can scan it. So then you hold the left mouse button to scan it. Okay, and then we check everything else. Oh, well, we can scan tires. I know we can scan this. Wow, we can scan that. Okay, this is a little crate we can scan. I don't think there's anything else. Alright, so now that we have a decent amount of resource, let's go up and see what all we can repair, so we can get a larger amount of permanent power coming to keep those batteries charged. And then once we get that all done up there, I'll show you how to get full power down to the boat. So there's 2 ways you can run with your character or your robot. This is normal run speed, where you're just pressing the W. If you press and hold the left shift, it puts you in sprint mode. Alright, so let's pull out the wrench. Okay, we have enough to do this one. Do this one? Nope, we need more fabric. Alright, let's get this one hooked up. let's see if we can do one of these. Oh, need more fabric. Need more fabric. Do this one. Alright. So I'm going to unhook that one. And hook this one into it. Okay, I need fabric. Pretty much every chair is guaranteed to give you some fabric scrap. And these duffel bags also give fabric scrap. Here's another room that's got a healing station and a backup station. Here's more to pick up. So I'm going to go ahead and back up right now so we don't lose everything that I've just done. Then you select the slot that you want and then hit yes to override, and it's done. Okay, and when we're ready, some paint. Here's the switch to open the door, but it takes a lot of power, so I want to wait and make sure that our batteries up there are fully charged and that we have everything repaired up on the roof. Excuse me. The wind turbines and the solar panels. Excuse me. Okay, while we're here, this is our diesel tank that we can use to fill the tank on our boat. It's 2,000 liters, which is the same size that's on our boat. I already have the cable here. You grab the end, jump up on the boat, and then up here is the diesel input. Just plug the cable in. Now, it's important here, this is what I was talking about with the liquid, which I'll show you. When you have it in equalization mode, what it'll do is it'll take and equal out that tank with the tank on the boat. They're both 2,000 liters. This had 2,000 liters in it, so what it'll do is it'll drain down to 1,000 liters and then it'll stop flowing. So I'll come back to it and then show you. This battery here is not quite fully charged, but we'll go ahead and hook it up to our boat, and the electric input for our boat is right here, so you connect it. And same thing here, you want to change the arrows going into the boat so that all that battery juice from that battery goes into our boat. Okay, oh, we got a phone call.
Dad? No. Sorry. I'm sorry. If someone answers, don't. I just wanted to say I made it. That's all. I made it.
Okay. Okay, so now here's a good example of what I was talking about, the equalization option on these hoses. So when you mouse over the input, or or the connector port for your diesel or your battery, it'll tell you where you're currently at. So if you look underneath where it says diesel tank, it says 1,000 liters / 2,000 liters. So the number on the right is your capacity, the most you can carry. The number on your left is what you actually have. So we have 1,000 liters. So if you come out here and look at the tank, it also says that it has 1,000 liters. That's because the hose is in equalization mode. So if we want the remaining 1,000 liters here to go in our boat, then we need to hover over the connector end, press F until the arrows face towards the boat. See, now it's face to the tank, so now we're draining the boat back into the tank. So we want it to go to the boat, so you press it again, and now it's going to go to the boat. And because the arrows are flowing that way, it will drain all the gas from this tank and fill the tank on our boat. Okay, as you can see here, this is what happened with the battery. So this battery is now dead. It has no juice because we had the power set to flow from this battery, 100% of it, into the battery on our boat. So now I think we should have enough to get more fabric scrap. Okay, so you can pick each stack up individually like I'm doing here, or if you want to pick everything up all at once, just get close to it, point in the direction of the resources, and then press and hold E, and you'll pick everything up. Alright, let's go see if I got enough. Going to repair this first to show you the difference. So it's putting out 5.3. See, now it's up to 7.4. So it was down to 68% durability, and it was putting out 5.3 kilowatts, and we repaired it and it jumped up to 7. So it makes a difference. Oh crap, wasn't paying attention to my power. See, that's a good example there. If you don't watch your energy level, if you keep doing items that cost energy, instead of using energy, it will take health away from you. Let's go get charged up. So that was a good lesson to see, to confirm that as you perform tasks, like I was repairing this, because I was out of energy and I didn't notice, it was taking health away instead of using power. So now you connect the cable, connect it to here, and now we should have, so we have 13.9 kilowatts output, all combined from these three. So 4.7, 4.6, 4.7 comes out to 13.9. Alright, let's see if what we can do here. Alright, cool. Alright, we got enough cable? I think so. Okay, so they're hooked up, but they're remember, because there's no power flowing, it's because it's nighttime, and these don't work at night. But it's an extra boost during the day to repair these in a situation like here, to guarantee to keep your batteries charged, to keep the power to your dock going while you're doing things before you get ready to leave. But then, as you can see, this is another good example of the difference between these two. With it being nighttime, them are producing power where these aren't. But then, like I said, the only disadvantage of these guys is you have to make sure and maintain them and keep them repaired so that their output is as high as it can be. Alright, so now that we have all our power repaired and connected, we can continue on down below. Okay, our batteries are getting charged. Okay, now, whoops, let me okay, I need more cable. So okay, so you can, one cool aspect with this game is there's two ways you can build things. At the fabricator, either on your boat or at a point of interest like the one downstairs in our dock here, or you can do it on your person by pulling up your tab and then clicking on build, and everything in here you can build on yourself as long as you have the resources over here. So for the hose, we need copper and plastic, and you can see I have 36 copper and 10 plastic, so I can make at least 10 hoses because that's all the plastic I have. So to build something, you click on the item, right click on it, and you have two options. You can build one, or you click on the 5 and you'll build 5 of them. That's what I want to do. So you click on the 5, but I want to show something real quick before we do this. So if you have a tool in your hand or a weapon when you get one later on, and you go to build something, watch what it does. So I want to build the hose, so I want to build 5 of them. Okay, now here's our cue. See how it says it's paused and it says unholstered. So it won't build anything because I'm holding this tool. So the minute I put the tool away, you look in the bottom right is the cue window for us building the cables. As soon as I put this weapon or this tool away, it'll start producing the cables, just like that. So if you go to build something and you forget about that, and you're wondering why am I not making this item, you probably have a tool equipped in your hand, and that's why it's not building anything. Alright, so let's get power, permanent power, downstairs to the boat. So we connect the cable to the extender, come over here to our ladder, look down, left click to go to the build menu. Okay, and then when it's green like this, you can place it. But when I move forward, see how it turns red? And then right above where it says electric cable there at the bottom of the screen, it says blocked output. It won't let us place it. So just move around until it turns green, and then select E once to place it, and then E to confirm it, and then Q to exit the build menu, and then connect your hose, and then make sure the arrows flow the direction you're going. Okay, and then scoot out here, connect the cable on this end, and then press E, look at the ladder and press E to step on the ladder and then go down. Okay, and then look down, click the left mouse button to enter the build mode. And then something else you can do, if you don't like the way it's facing, you can press and hold the left or right mouse button and the item will spin. Or if you press it once, it'll turn like this. Or if you hold it, it'll turn constantly. So this way you can make it kind of fit wherever you're wanting to put it at. And when you're satisfied, press E twice to build it, Q to exit the build menu, E to connect the cable, F to direct the flow. Okay, let's connect another cable. Come over here, left click to show our cable extender, E twice to build it. Oh no, I need an iron. Shoot. Alright. Okay, well crap, it did it before I could explain it. So if you leave the item placed like I did and then go collect the resource, when you get within range it'll automatically take it off your person and then finish building the item. Okay, let's connect our hoses again, cable, sorry. Make sure the flow is going the right way. Hey, what the heck? Okay, now we want to connect the hose. Oh. I don't think I got enough to do this. I'm gonna jump down here and I'm gonna grab this hose or cable. Go back up and then connect it. Okay, connect it here like this. Jump down here and then connect to the battery. And then you want the flow to go in. Now, you do that because you're taking power from those batteries up there, the power is going to freak out a little bit. Once this battery gets fully charged, the power will equalize and it'll quit freaking out. There, just like that. So that battery is fully charged now, 6 kilowatts of 6 kilowatts, and now the power is equaled out and everything's not freaking out no more. Alright, so from here we have got our permanent power repaired, and then we have the dock permanently powered, and now we have permanent power down to the battery for our boat. Let me see. Yes, I think if I build 2, it should be enough. Okay, we'll connect to the battery. Yep, that's enough. Okay, now we connect to the boat, and it's gonna, same thing's gonna happen because our boat battery was a little low, but it did take long. So then you want to make sure that the flow is going into the boat and not equalized, because what it'll do is it'll keep your boat battery and that battery at the same level. We want our boat battery to be fully charged. And again, mouse over the connector and it'll tell you right there, 6 kilowatts of 6 kilowatts. And again, the number on the right is your capacity, the number on your left is where you're at. Okay, so now we have completed that. We've got permanent power to the dock. and we have permanent power to the boat. So now to finish off that quest, Vessel of Tomorrow, let's go in and look, see what we need to repair the boat. Here's our diesel engine. We need to repair that. So here's a couple items on the floor we'll pick up. Let's see if that's what we need. Pull the wrench out. Nope, we need 2 more plastic and another iron. Oops. So let's go collect some more scrap. So now that we have permanent power, we can come here now to recharge ourselves. And early in the game, it's not necessarily important to make sure that the flow of the power is directed into you. You can have it with the equalization option because your power is so low compared to what the battery is that it's not going to matter. But as you progress in levels, and then when you start to increase the amount of battery power you can hold, as you later on, and when you get to that point, it'll be important to make sure when you connect the cable that you make sure that the power is going into you like I'm showing here, so that it fills your battery up and it doesn't equalize you out with your boat battery or whatever other battery you're charging from. Okay, something I want to show real quick. Let me get my charge back up. So when you go to grind stuff up, like I said, when you mouse over the item you dismantle, it tells you what you are going to get. So it says 2 plastic scrap and 2 fabric scrap. So to find out what resource you're going to get out of that, if you pull up your inventory by pressing tab and you mouse over the scrap, like this here says aluminum scraps. If you look down here about in the middle, it says possible recycling output. So that aluminum scrap has a chance of giving us aluminum, iron, or copper. So it'll either give one of the 3, 2 of the 3, or all of the 3 all at once. So then you go over here to broken glass, and obviously all that's going to give us is glass. So you got wire scraps, so it has a chance of giving us plastic and copper. Tech scrap, which you get from robots, monitors, keyboards, and stuff like that, has a chance of giving us silicone, gold, and polyurethane. Plastic scrap has a chance of giving us plastic and rubber. And then metal scrap has a chance of giving us iron and copper. So again, to load the stuff in your grinder, walk up to it, press E to open the window, press F and it'll throw everything in there all at once. Diesel engine, so let's go repair it. pull out our wrench. Yep, we have the 3 plastic and the 6 iron. So left click hold the mouse button to repair the engine. Okay. Okay, and here's one of our cylinders now. So you hover over it, click and hold the left mouse button to pick it up, and then drag it over to one of the inputs, and then it'll snap into place. Okay, this one already has the first one connected. So I just want to say that I think it's brilliant how we have an electric engine and a diesel engine option on this boat. So if we run out of diesel fuel, we still have the electric engine to stay mobile, providing that you have enough power to recharge the battery so that you don't run out before you can go get more diesel. Okay, if you come out here to the front of your boat or the bow, here's our other diesel engine. They give us 2. So same thing, hover over it, pick it up, hold the left mouse button to carry it, and then set it in place. And you'll hear it snap into place. Now, they give us another one of these, and I'll show you where it's at. It's up in the front cabin here, below the helm, right here on the side. So we mouse over it, hold left click, pick it up, and carry it to the engine. Same thing, it'll snap into place. So now we have 2 engines, or 2 cylinders for each engine to get us out of here. And then here's our work center. We have our own grinder and our own fabricator on the boat. You can connect the power cord here to the grinder, and then same thing over here to turn that on, and then you got a switch here to turn them on. Same thing over here. Well, I'm not going to do it yet because I don't want to use these yet. And then you got a front storage room up here that you can use for whatever you want. I like to use this for storage. You can put a lot of chests in here, create a lot of storage. And as you can see, you got a lot of nooks and crannies everywhere. Here, right there, above there, and above there, where you can put storage chests to store anything or other things like tanks and stuff like that. And you'll notice we have a meter here for our diesel fuel. It shows that we have 2,000 liters, that we're 100% capacity, and if our engines happen to be running, it's down here at the bottom. It tells us how many liters per hour we're using. And then over here is a meter for our battery. Same thing. It tells us that we have 6 kilowatts. We're at 100% capacity. And then if our engines are running, or if something is being used, like one of these are being used and running, then it'll tell us how many watts per hour or how many watts we're using right there. Alright, so as you can see, the only thing we have left on that quest is to open the dock doors and sail out. But I'm not ready to do that yet. I'm going to show you how to dismantle everything and how to maintain and preserve your power and your energy while doing so at an early stage like this, which will help when you leave the dock. It'll help you at other points of interest that you'll hit along the way as you explore and level up and work on quests. So we'll call this part 1, that we've got the power restored, full power to the dock, full power down to the boat. We've got our diesel engine and repaired and set up along with our electric engine so that we're ready to go. So thanks for watching, and look for part 2.